Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Settle It on the Screen for January 2nd, 2015. I am your host, Michael Sroka, along here with Nick Houslander.
We're up now. Not
Yeah.
just sitting on the couch, boring people to death. Now we're up and alive.
And our co-host, Glen Updike. How you doing, Glenn?
Doing great, guys.
He's in TG Live, too, so if you want to catch him playing Mario Brothers on MAME, it looks like.
NES.
NES, okay.
Come on, Mike. What else would it be?
And our guests tonight are Stephen Boyer and Steve Kletzlev. How do you say it? I'm sorry. You just told us 2 minutes ago. Kleissat. He's in TG Live 3 and Mr. Boyer's in TG Live 4 joining us tonight. If you want to see their beautiful faces instead of ours, click on their cams instead of this. But, Mega Man 2 somewhere close by over here.
Oh, maybe. I mean, he might just be still sleeping.
Yeah, so it is January 2nd. The scoreboard was tentatively ready to be open. It's not right now. So
it is very, very close, though.
Cool your jets. It's going to be here.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't worry. It's, almost here. All right,
like I said, this show will be here to talk to you and entertain you about the world of competitive gaming, of Twin Galaxies, of the new high scores. You're going to hear it here first, unless it's posted on the website first.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
going to be
honestly,
honest.
I mean, if it posts on Tuesday, we still aren't going to go until Friday. So, I mean, you'll see it there.
But people are still breaking world records. Yep. And that's who we're talking to tonight. Call them the Steves, or the Steve brothers.
Steve brothers.
What was it, November 11th? You guys broke the Mario Brothers world record for doubles. Am I right on the date? I could be wrong.
I don't remember the exact date either. But sometime in end of November.
Okay.
It was kind of late November, but you've got two records. There's a no POW and then the regular play.
How did you guys kind of meet to do this type of friendship? I mean, you guys just talk on the internet? How did you guys meet in person to kind of go? How do you go after a world record not living in the same place? I mean, me and Nick, hey, you want to go for a world record? Sure. I mean, how did it happen?
It's a good question. You want me to take it, Stephen, or you want to?
Yeah, you go ahead and talk about the submission and how we started talking.
Well, Stephen Boyer was a verifier for Twin Galaxies for how many years?
Probably 5 or 6.
Okay. And the way we initially got a hold of each other is I submitted a score for Turbo Miss Pac-Man, another game that I'm actively going for the world record on, although not recently. But at the time, I'd sent him a couple submissions, and he happened to be the guy that was verifying mine. And we just sort of did a back and forth, got to talking, and then I don't exactly remember how we got on the subject of Mario Brothers, but I remember I had told you about how I enjoyed that game when I was younger, and I was thinking about actually getting back into it. And then, of course, Steven told me how that's like his main game at the time, that he has a cabinet for, as you can see back of him on his screen. And he's been a connoisseur of that game for years.
Probably.
And our mutual love for Mario Brothers just sort of kept us in contact. And just a lot of back and forth through either Facebook or phone or the internet. And then finally we discovered a program called MAME Hub. It took us a little while to figure it out, but once we did, we were able to play 2-player games through MAME Hub. And then when this event got introduced to me from Michael Simmons, the organizer of Free Play Florida, me and Steven sort of collectively, where I think I invited you, Steven, like, come on down to Florida and let's do it. And, one thing led to another, and fortunately we were able to make good on that, come down, and ironically that's the first time we had met in person as well. So we sort of made a weekend out of it. We set the records on Saturday, and then we went with his family to Disney on Sunday. And so it turned out to be a pretty awesome weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome. I want you guys to talk about that a little bit more, but before I forget here, Boyer, you had the previous world record with Scott Greer. So what's going on there?
Well, actually, that's my cousin, but he kind of gave me the green light to go ahead and break the record, and if me and him start playing again, maybe we'll try to get it back or something.
Okay,
but,
so
he was pretty cool about it.
There's no contract deal, right?
No, I mean, you know, I'm kind of, I just like to play. I mean, it doesn't matter. I might play with somebody else as well, but, you know, Steven's probably my main partner. And, you know, it takes a long time to really figure out what each other's going to do. You got to know where he's going to be, what he's going to be doing. He's got to know if I'm going to hit something up underneath him and, you know, or if I'm going to kill him. So there's a lot of practice involved.
So, Steven, if you go back to playing with Scott, does that make you the designated pitcher?
I think I'm just the
not on the team, you're always pitching.
I'm like the hired gun, I guess.
So we got a new world record, the default way, 1,186,090 points. Can you guys push that higher? Is there room? I'm not familiar with Mario Brothers for the arcade, so.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really thinking it could possibly go up to at least 1.5 million. There's a good chance we can get 2 million. At the event, we were supposed to play from like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and they did not have the camera set up for 2 hours. So we had 2 hours to play. So we got to play 2 games.
Yeah, well, they actually gave us the time limit. Yeah, by the time we started, it was like maybe 12 to 3, and we were like, wow, really limited time because of everything else that was going on. And fortunately, we literally did one of them. I think the no-pal we did on the first try. Actually, we did both on the first try.
We did both of them on the first try.
But the no-pal could definitely be higher. We could get 1 million no-pal. Like,
yeah. I mean, the whole key is just having the time to. I mean, you got to realize, you know, Steven's in Florida. I'm in South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
If we lived closer and we had a cabinet, you know, we'd probably have 2 million regular play and probably 1 million no-pal.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the arcade version. To be honest, I'm actually familiar with the Coleco version, and I know there's a kill screen on that. Is there a kill screen on Mario Brothers for arcade?
I don't believe so.
Okay,
No.
so you guys can keep playing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a marathon game.
Yeah, there is a revision though. I think it's revision F. Steven, maybe you can correct me.
Right.
That does have a kill screen.
Right.
For main.
Like, did they just add that for fun, or?
I think it was probably I'm guessing now, it was like a bug in the game, and then they put out like another chip and kind of fixed that bug.
Okay.
And then, of course, you know, if you wanted to play like in MAME and play Japan, it's got like a kill screen as well. You get like an extra man every 30,000 up until 1 million, and then you get no more men.
Okay.
Plus, the game plays a little bit different. I guess it's on harder or hardest or something. So it's got some differences.
So
But
now,
standard Mario Brothers, there's no timer, there's no kill screen. It's just all about surviving.
So the timer is kind of like the red fireballs. After a while, they'll get really fast. And that's kind of like your timer. You know, you need to hurry up and finish up the level.
So for you guys, when it comes to POW or no POW, which ones do you guys prefer? And I know obviously the POW makes things easier, as in you can use the POW to kill bad guys, but I always found sometimes it gets in the way, especially in a 2-player game, if you guys aren't like in perfect communication with each other.
But well, that's the whole trick is we know where each other's going to be and what we're going to do, and if he starts dropping down, I know I've got to run away. But the no-pow was something when I was a referee, and I was really into Mario Brothers, and there was really nobody else into it. I guess Tom was into it, but we never really talked. And I remember they had the no-hammer Donkey Kong, and I was like, you know, I would really love to have like a no-pow Mario Brothers. So it kind of took off.
Was it last night? Was it last night you played, Steve? Did you get 4.1 million on single player?
Yeah, actually, January 1st, top of the year, I figured, you know what, I had some free time. Because, I mean, to get the regular POW world record, I mean, you got to set aside 5-6 hours to be possible to even do it time-wise. I actually got 4,601,950, just 76,000 points away from Tom Badava's PAL world record. So it was the first time I broke 4 million though. So it was a personal best, and it's also the official #2 in the world on all platforms, because Stephen Boyer had actually got 4.2 million on MAME earlier last year. So I had broken that, and I came just shy of Tom Bonawas.
And you did this last night?
Oh, it is last night, yeah.
I think yesterday afternoon, yeah.
Nice, good timing.
Yeah, right? Something more to talk about.
Terrible.
No, exactly, we really appreciate it.
Now I am currently the No PAL World Champion single player. I did beat Tom Bonawas' score on that one probably a month back, and that's at 2,134,000 now is the single player No PAL World record. So really, I have that one. I have the double records with Steven, and I was hoping if I got that one, that'd be it. As far as the Twin Galaxies recognized variations, I could do a sweep. So I'm still looking to do that.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's always been the one. I don't know, the POW I always had. I was always kind of bummed out by the POW.
It's like cheating.
Yeah, I mean, given if you're playing a competitive two-player, the POW's the greatest thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, you made a good point a little while ago with is it easier with PAL or no PAL? Ironically, when me and Steven do the two-player, sometimes no PAL is actually easier because we don't really have to communicate because we know we can't use it. So
yeah,
we just know where each
I've
other's
always
at.
found the no PAL with another person is easier.
I don't know what it is. I think you just get in a rhythm, and it's just like you don't have to think about it. And sometimes if I PAL, there may be an icicle that falls on Steven's head, and then I actually kill him.
Yeah.
What's an icicle? I'm joking. That shows you how far I've gotten.
Well, it's not on NES, right?
What was that?
There's no icicles on NES.
Oh no, let's say I haven't run into icicles tonight while playing it on MAME. So.
Right.
Yeah, that looks like MAME.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to play it on Atari 2600. That's what I grew up playing it on, and I was never very good. But I mean, I still did play it quite often, but it was never one of my main games.
Get it, main games.
Oh. So stupid.
I know.
Do you guys know, other than Mario Brothers, though? You guys ever consider playing anything else, like partnered up, or is it more just single player games other than this one?
No, we've actually want to do Joust.
Yeah, we've talked about Joust, and then there's always Bubble Bobble, which is a great two-player game.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys play with me on the 4-player? There's a 4-player one on the new version. I need to recruit at least one more recruit.
For which game?
Bubble Bobble. There's a new version of Bubble Bobble that's 4-player.
Oh, wow.
It's on the newer systems. It's on the Wii.
Okay.
Or the Wii U, and it's on, but it's 4-player, and it's awesome 4-player. I mean, you can get the special level like constantly if everybody's in communication. It's almost like cheating. You barely have to beat anybody after like the 10th level, but it's a lot of.
That's all
I wouldn't mind seeing that. Of course, I don't have a Wii, but I wouldn't mind checking that game out.
Oh yeah, it's like $10, and there's more. There's still the original mode, so you can train for the arcade. There's another mode. You can play 1, 2, 3, or 4-player, and the 4-player it gets crazy too. It's like you got to communicate, otherwise you might kill each other too. No, don't pop that. We need more points. What are you doing?
Right. Well, the thing about Bubble Bobble, I was heavy into it with my cousin at one time. And there's so many little tricks you have to know about. If you drop down so many times, a boot might have come up, or you get some kind of special power up or something. You got to know all the little tricks.
Yeah, there's always there's ways to get the extra points too.
Oh.
So, are you guys planning anything soon? Playing again together, or?
Sorry.
Right now, the only way we could play is like through MAME Hub.
MAME Hub? Okay.
And, and actually, without MAME Hub, we never would have went to this event and set these records. Because, we had to practice for a few good months.
Well, we also play through Kalira.
Yeah, we tried that one as well.
The only thing with Kalira is it has a crazy like delay lag to it, almost like some cabinets do. If there's too many graphics on the screen, the game just goes into slow motion.
They're made for slow motion.
Whereas MAME Hub, that doesn't happen, but MAME Hub presents other problems sometimes, like
MAME Hub has some kind of bug. I guess it's called like an input delay. And I mean, we could have 500,000 on our first man, and then all of a sudden somebody will get this input delay bug where, like, say you mash left or right, it'll go left or right like 2 seconds later. And you can't break out of it, so more or less your game's over.
Yeah, it sucks.
Does anybody in the crowd have any questions for the Steve brothers? Hi, Jace. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, I just stopped by to give you an update on the scoreboard.
Oh, we got this made us our desk tonight.
Literally breaking news.
Yeah, there's just a few minor bugs stopping us from turning it on. We hope to have it working probably in the next 6 to 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And,
I'm sitting here like next week or something is what I'm thinking.
No, there's a lot of detail work that goes into tagging and privacy options and all this other stuff that is involved with the video uploading. And the actual adjudication process works fine. We've tried really hard to cheat it, to break it, to trick it. You just can't. And then you really can't. You'd have to. You start getting into brute force tactics to do it, and then you know when 1,000 people show up to your front door. So there's no way to secretly break it. You have to somehow try to break it in an obvious way. So it defeats the whole purpose. And so we've been up all night, many days, working to get this working. So that's why I'm tired and not.
Yeah, you look like.
But it should be going up. We put what's going to follow on is we have sort of an elaborate Facebook, Twitter sharing function so that you can share your scores, your records, all that stuff. That's going to have to wait for a few days because I didn't want to delay the launch. And there's a couple cosmetic things that you probably won't notice but will bother me. And other than that, we should be good to go. Probably right when we turn it on, there'll be a couple of things that we hadn't thought of in terms of permissions and all this other stuff. Rudy, I know you have a tech support question into the group that deals specifically with your case. After we turn it all on, we'll look at how we manage that. So just hang on. And then that's pretty much it. It will be very soon. Then it just starts becoming, opening it up to greater tracks, newer tracks, all this other stuff. But we want to get it stabilized soon. And I've been watching this Mario stuff, and my God, we have a Mario Brothers arcade machine here at Twin Galaxies, and just the idea of getting 500,000, 1 million points is just, it's ridiculous, man. That's some real skill to be able to pull that off, I gotta say.
Well, Jace, man, thanks for the effort, man. I think we all should give Jace Hall a round of applause.
No, please wait until it works. Wait until it actually works.
Like that,
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the layout on Settle It on the screen. It looks really cool. I'm excited for scores to come in. We're going to figure out doubles because essentially for a Mario Brothers score to go in with 2 of you guys have to create an account that is both of your names.
Right.
And then share the password amongst each other, I guess, and then you could submit scores that way. So there will be a lot of special case things. Like we just went through this whole process of elapsed time, putting in elapsed time. there's so many ways for people to get that wrong, and when you have it automated with people entering it, you don't want them submitting something and getting the milliseconds wrong and that stuff. So we'll shake out the rest of the bugs, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be really cool. We're going to be featuring gamers and their accomplishments and their scores and their videos, and I'll be spending more time helping live events and expos get more viewers. You know, there's something coming up in banning. I'm going to try to make it to that. We have a large event at Twin Galaxies Live coming up on the 15th and the 16th, so I might only make it on the 17th. But in any case, I didn't mean to interrupt your whole thing, but since you guys were live, I thought you guys would want to know that the score submission is almost here.
Cool. Well, I'm glad for the update. That's great.
No, dude, we really appreciate it. Seriously, this is like
it just came across our desk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. It's great. So cool. Thanks, Jace. Get some sleep.
All right, I'll let you guys get back to it, and just ask any questions on the forum or whatever once it gets rolling.
Cool. We're excited.
Man. All right.
Thanks, guys, and great Mario Brothers playing.
That's right.
You got it.
Cool. That's nice.
Thanks, Jace.
I think we're asking before. I'm not sure. I've kind of lost my train of thought, but that's okay. I'm glad he's
that's
phoned
awesome.
in. That's what this show's about. The show's about the world of competitiveness of Twin Galaxies.
Absolutely.
I kind of like it. We give a little segment every week, just like 5 minutes. Just totally interrupts our flow.
No,
so I forget what we're doing. This is why I need my teleprompter.
Yeah.
We're at,
fellow on the screen just got some pretty breaking news.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Is there an event coming up that we talked about prior to the show coming up in Florida again, free play, or is that the event that I missed? Please forgive me if I'm not knowledgeable enough.
There's an online event coming up for Mario Brothers called the Mario Brothers Online Open.
That's right.
And that's going to be January 16th through the 18th. And huge props to Corey Chambers, because he's the one that set the whole thing up. And I think Donkey Kong Forum will probably do a mega stream of it. But to me and Steven's knowledge, I think 10 people are going to be involved now, including me and Steven. And basically a free thing.
What's going on? I hear a bunch of static.
Yeah. High gain microphone, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
We just went through a thunderstorm.
Yeah. It took 7.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just
probably first time, long time. So now anybody can play though, right? We have more than 10 people. Just go to Donkey Kong Forum.
I think on Donkey Kong Forum there's a doc that you sign up for, where you sort of click on a link and then you submit all your information, and then you can be involved.
Very, very cool.
So is it like a shoe you guys are going to win?
Everybody of all skills are welcome too. You know, you don't have to be like a 1,000,000-point player.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. I think I'm trying to look it up right now.
Well, I don't think if you're a good player, you want some lousy players. I mean, you gotta have someone like me in there who can put up like 1,200 and is happy with it. You know, I think it's important to all competition.
I just got 30,000.
Especially if there's a mystery bounty like the Donkey Kong online opens have, because then you could just win some money. I think just being like a certain number placement that's drawn randomly or whatever. So
yeah, you could win money. You could win $50 being 8th place, 13th place. Yeah, that was really cool. I hope this one does it too. And I'm really glad that Corey kind of put that together, just because I normally do this on this show, is I hate on the Donkey Kong, but it's like
kind of
it's nice to play something else.
Yeah,
it's nice to talk about something else, you know. And Mario Brothers is a great game. I always find it fun.
Absolutely.
Granted, my first experience with it was Super Mario Brothers 3, where you play.
Was it really?
I mean, it's not a real version. You're not getting points, but it's the same game.
It's a great version.
But granted, it's to beat the other player when you're playing.
Yeah, definitely. It's a different version.
But it was just kind of thrown in there, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely. It was my favorite part when the first time we got it.
Yeah, anytime I see the triple cabinet, the newer triple cabinets where they have Donkey Kong Jr. and Mario Brothers, I just play Mario Brothers. I don't even bother playing.
No, there's really no point.
So
I think because of that multi-cap contention, the Donkey Kong forum recognizes Mario Brothers as part of the family.
That's cool.
Oh. Well, I mean, they should. Mario's in it. I mean,
of course.
They should.
Well, you got to realize when Mario Brothers came out in '83, you know, it was like the first appearance of Luigi. You had the first green pipes. You had the first time you seen the turtles, and even to this day, you're still seeing the green pipes and the turtles and Luigi all over the place. So it's a very classic game.
Yeah.
That's the first game he's officially Mario.
Not Jumpman.
Yeah, not Jumpman.
No, Jumpman, cool.
Yeah, just imagine
Mario,
Super
Mario.
3.
Sorry, go ahead.
Jumpman Brothers.
Yeah.
Luigi Jump.
Carpenter in Donkey Kong, but a plumber in Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that's right.
Different career.
Yeah, different job.
Different job.
Hey, it's proof that it's never too old to change what you do. I mean, you can change it up.
I mean, he's changed his career multiple.
Oh my God!
He's become a professional golfer, professional baseball player.
He's a referee in boxing.
There you go. It's in a profession, but you know.
Well, imagine how fun Donkey Kong would have been if you could have had two guys on the screen at the same time.
Oh, and you could pick up the
awesome.
and throw them to each other.
Oh my God!
Hit each other with the hammer.
Oh, and think of how great it would be if one of you could control Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that would be.
See, this is the remix that I hope Nintendo would do.
Or block people from going up ladders and stuff.
Yeah.
Get them off and stuff. That'd be cool.
And you could work as a team, or you could work, against one another.
Yeah, and I mean, the question is, only one of them gets the girl, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right.
Well, and that's why if the other person makes it up, then it's a fighting game. Then it's Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that would be, you both get to the top.
Yeah.
And it's just fight, and then she's like, fight.
Yep.
Fight for my honor.
And then the person who kills the other one, she's like, I will never be with a murderer. And you're like, crap.
And then the next level starts.
Yeah, and then it's jail. Then you gotta escape. And that's a different game.
These are great ideas. Somebody please make it.
Yeah, I'll play this game.
These are great mashups.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the jail game would be, though.
I don't know.
Kung Fu?
I'm not a game designer.
Yeah, me either.
I just watch world records. So.
I can come up with stupid ideas. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're on this show.
Exactly.
To make us all laugh.
It's definitely not because of my video game skills.
So, cool.
Is there any questions?
Yeah, you got anything on your side, Glenn? I know we've been kind of hogging them.
How long would you say that you've been playing Mario Brothers? Like, for the both of you?
I mean, I remember playing it. I remember seeing it in the arcade. I didn't really play it very much. I was always walking into the arcade wanting to play Donkey Kong. But I always knew it was a great game. I just couldn't get away from Donkey Kong at the time. But I probably didn't even take it serious until about 6 years ago.
Oh, wow. Were you decent at it? I mean, or was it one of those games where you were always just like, God, it's so hard. You know what? Maybe I'll get good at it. Or were you always pretty...
I started playing doubles, and we broke 1 million before I could ever break 1 million by single player.
Oh, dang.
We had just figured the game out as a two-player game. And, I mean, I remember my cousin told me, he was like, I can get 300,000 doing it single player. And I was like, wow, that's a lot, And then I think there was one Sunday or something, I wanted him to come on over and let's play some doubles, and he didn't want to. Matter of fact, I think he was tired of the game. And I just started playing single player. And next thing I know, I could break 1 million, 1.5 million, and it just kind of went from there.
Yeah. That's, man. That's actually amazing. I mean, because it is a really hard two-player game.
It's very hard, yeah.
You really can't be...
You got to be communicating.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nowhere... like Golden Axe.
Yeah, you can have one person carry.
No, I was gonna say I am awesome at Golden Axe or Golden Axe 2, but if I have someone who doesn't know what they're doing as a second player, we're screwed. Yeah. Because they're because you can hit each other in that game, just like in Mars. The other person really affects the other person. So if you're not in sync with that other person, you're kind of screwed.
You know, the funny thing is we can take our cell phones and we can stay in communication the whole time we're playing. But Steven and I have actually gotten to the point where we don't even have to talk. It's almost like we just know what we're going to do and we just kind of do it. And once in a while, he may say, hit the fly or something.
Yeah, see, actually, then Josh, who used to be on the Twin Galaxies podcast, and me and him could play Bubble Bobble that way, where it's just, I mean, granted, there's always certain stages, but everybody has an assignment.
Absolutely.
And if something goes wrong, we rarely had to communicate to fix the situation.
Oh, that's how we are.
That's when you got a true partner. That's awesome.
Or like when we would play NHL 94 together or something like that. But no, that's awesome. And it's not easy to find someone else mainly because usually in a two-player game you have someone has to take the lead and then someone kind of has to clean up the mess. And if you're playing with a guy who doesn't like cleaning up the mess, you're not going to do very good.
No. Yeah, that's not a very good partner.
Hell no. No, and it makes the game no fun to play either, which obviously leads to you never doing anything again. So, no, that's awesome. I mean, are you going to try to push still the first player point record, or do you think you're going to spend most of your time on two?
No, I mean, well, I know Steven is. He definitely wants to probably break the record. And I wouldn't mind trying to do it myself. It's just coming up with that 5 hours to try to do it is hard.
Yeah.
How long does it take you guys? Like the world record you guys, the record you guys set together. How long did that take?
We set both of them within 2 hours.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's not too bad.
The no POW was probably 35 or 40 minutes, and then the other one was probably about probably just over an hour.
Yep.
Really? So the POW takes a lot longer.
Well, it's a higher score as well because it was like. What was it? 1,186,000, and then the other one was 627,000. So almost, cut it in half.
That's actually not bad. I mean, that's not even double the time. So.
Yeah, if we could have went to that event, and if we had the whole weekend to play, these scores would be a lot higher.
Regarding the comment about cleaning up or taking the lead, Steven is Mario. I'm Luigi. When we play it, and typically I man the top and he mans the PAL and underneath. So sort of the cleanup spot, and I'm usually up top trying to sort of, make a good start to the board, obviously, with the first couple creatures of each phase. So that's how we do it typically.
No, that's good.
And somehow it always gets out of control. If not, we'd never lose, but the game will get out of control, then somebody dies, and then the next person dies, and one thing that makes the double game more difficult is you don't know where the green fireballs are going to go. Whenever somebody kills one or it goes to the edge and comes back, it may go after him or it may come after me.
No, that's... Oops. God, wow, you're really good at this game.
I'm great at this game.
Nice.
You guys don't have to worry about me taking your world record.
Nope.
The balls are a little more predictable on one player than two player as far as where they're coming from.
It does change? It is completely different?
Yeah.
It can be, given a phase.
Sometimes you have back-to-back green fireballs. They just form back-to-back, so you can't even jump over one because you'll get hit by the second one. Whereas in a single-player game, you would never see that.
So are you guys have you ever talked about doing other games together? I know you talked about Joust, but it's seriously, you're already planning it, or something maybe you guys are playing on your own right now?
I think we can't get away from Mario right now.
Okay.
We want to beef up the Mario scores. Then me and Steven have practiced Joust on Main Hub a couple different times now. We're, starting to, get our oats in that one.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't think neither one of us is really good at joust, so that would be like a tall mountain to climb.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you guys work well together, so.
Yeah, it would just take a long time, and I would say we would probably have to both play it single player and get decent at it to really have an understanding of what to do.
Are you primarily just arcade? Do you play consoles at all or no?
Who, me?
Yeah, either one of you.
I mean, I got a PS3, you know, and I grew up, you know, playing. First, my dad had Pong. That's what got me into games. And then I had the Atari 2600, and then I had Nintendo, and then Super Nintendo, and now I got the PS3. I don't really play the consoles as much as arcade or main.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's not Glenn was gonna say.
Yeah, same here.
You know how it goes. I mean, it's like when you're growing up and you've got the Atari 2600, but then you're thinking of the arcade and how the graphics look so much better.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just something I grew up with. I never forgot about it.
No, I mean I grew up with Nintendo mainly. I mean, my uncle had an Atari, but I had Nintendo by the time I was 4 or 5. But yeah, I remember that. That's what was such a big deal when the Super Nintendo and the Genesis came out, because it was the first time they came close to matching the arcade graphics.
Right.
Because up until that point, it was like Nintendo was awesome. Don't get me wrong, I loved it, but I still would rather go to the arcade because the games were still better. But
right. Well, you got the whole atmosphere. You know, if you get really good at a game and you go to the arcade, at least back in those days, next thing you know, you've got 10 or 15 people around you watching you, and it was pretty exciting, you know.
No, you know what? I missed that part of it. I did. I mean, we used to go to the arcade all the time, but there was no social aspect for us other than just hanging out with our friends. But it always sounded so cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's why the events are great. I mean, when you go to the events, that'll happen again.
That's cool. That's right. Kind of brings back memories.
I'll tell you another place besides the arcade that I loved when I was younger, and it's the first time I discovered original Mario Brothers, was pizza places. Pizza places where I lived always had like 3 or 4 cabinets, and that's how I discovered Mario Brothers, and then later on Super Mario Brothers. It's called Mazzio's Pizza, I remember. It's when I lived in Texas for a couple of years, but I loved going to some like convenience stores or pizza places, and besides the arcade, of course, they'd always have like, and sometimes really random, like unique titles that, like, what is this doing here? And then get up and start, trying to play that. But I had the same home consoles too growing up: Atari 2600, ColecoVision, and then Nintendo. It's all about Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And for those of you just joining us here on Twitch, welcome to Settle It on the Screen. We're the show here to inform you and entertain you about the world of competitive gaming, mostly off the Twin Galaxies scoreboard, score chasing, some speed runs. Tonight, we're talking with the world record holders on Mario Brothers for arcade doubles, meaning they're playing together. We're doing that high score. So if you would like to, we do have one Skype channel open. If you do have any questions for our guest, please come on in, and welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Glenn, we got you one question. Did you have any more? I know we seem to be talking over you.
I was gonna ask, like, if for anybody that was interested in picking up arcade, would you have any tips for them, like starting off, just beginner strategies, or?
You talking about for buying a game or actually playing it?
Actually playing Mario Brothers.
Just set a goal for yourself, like maybe 100,000 to start with, or it could be 15,000 or 25,000. Just set a goal. And there's a lot of videos out on YouTube. Go watch some replays. And, if you get to a certain phase and you get stuck, just look at those videos and pick up some pointers and just kind of go from there.
Yeah, if you're just playing it for like your first time, like maybe a goal is get to the extra man at 20,000, and then maybe the next goal, get to where the icicles start forming, and just sort of build slowly to that, as you go along. But
Because I know, like, from at first glance, most people would look at the game and be like, well, that's a pretty simple premise, but
No.
it's pretty in-depth and intricate and complex.
Yeah. This game, I mean, I guess I was getting around $1.5 million when I met Steven, and I seen his whole journey, you know, all the frustrations he went through, and the guy worked his butt off to get where he's at. And I seen the whole process, you know, plus we were talking a lot. It's very possible. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to say anybody can do it, but, you know, if you really dedicate yourself, a lot of people can do it. It just takes a lot of time.
It seems like the mechanism of how they move and stuff seems to come easier to some people than others. I don't really know why that is, but I've noticed that when I've talked to other people who've tried to play it. It's like they tried to play it initially, and for whatever reason, that small sample size scared them off, or they couldn't figure out how to angle jump or something like that. But then for other people, they just get on the machine and just start playing it, and it's almost like instinctually they know how to jump and do the
Hey guys, you're on the front page of Twitch.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Keep going.
Cool.
Awesome.
No, I think that goes especially with the, well, I guess the older games, because that's what most people started off with, but it usually does, you usually know whether or not you're going to be good at a game pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, you usually won't stick with the game for, you know, 2 weeks if you just keep sucking at it, but yeah, some games just seem to, you know, you usually hit it off pretty quickly with them.
I would say first and foremost, you know, you have to like the game, if not love it.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, if the game is fun, I don't care if it's kicking your butt. You're going to come back a couple days later, even if it kicks your butt again, but you're going to keep coming back, and eventually you're going to get to the next phase or the next 10 phases, and you're going to start getting good.
No, without a doubt. And honestly, that's one of the reasons I've never been able to get into Donkey Kong. We joke on here, we talk about how much we hate it. I've never been good at it, but I've just never enjoyed the mechanism of the game. Really,
Right.
that's always just, it's never been real fun to me. But I mean, even as a kid, I didn't like it. But as soon as I saw a game like Contra or Radius, I was like, oh, within 2 minutes, I thought those were the greatest games ever. And so I just always played them. So
Right.
I think it just depends on the type of game you like.
That's it, man. It's whatever you like.
Yeah. Obviously, I have a less attention span than everyone else, which is why Contra made sense to me. But no, that's cool, and that's why there's a million different types of games. But no, that's awesome. I mean, we want to talk about your cabinets, though, you guys. How long have you had them for? Or do you? I know Boyer, you obviously have one we can see in the background. But Steve, do you have one as well?
Yeah, I do. I can put the camera on real quick if you want to see it. But
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hold on 1 second.
You guys have 1K people watching you right now.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And for those of you joining in,
Yeah,
since the viewership has gone up, you're watching Settle It on the Screen. This is a show about the competitive aspect of high score chasing on the Twin Galaxies scoreboard. For those, you know, you might have heard of Twin Galaxies before. Fame.
Yeah.
This is a place where you're going to be able to submit for world record video games. And tonight we're interviewing the arcade doubles world record holders for Mario Brothers for the original arcade. Mm-hmm. They're in Skype 3 and 4. So if you have any questions for them, maybe we can put them up. We'll pluck them out of the chat here and there. I'll stop my terrible game. Oh, wow, I just keep getting worse.
Yeah,
30,000, 29,000, 24,000.
Yeah, these are, you're coming close to the world record.
Well, my issue was the extra slide. On the NES, when you stop Mario or Luigi, they don't have they don't have the momentum.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the arcade, that's where I'm screwed up.
Yeah.
I can never probably play the arcade competitively.
Probably not.
I'm too used to the Super Mario Brothers 3 version.
I can say this much, man. When you're playing the NES version, it's nothing like the arcade version. I mean, it's like totally night and day. There's no icicles that's falling. As far as the ice sliding, I'm not really sure. I just don't play the NES version that much, but we have tried it a couple times.
Yeah, this is just the version I grew up with for the most part.
Yeah, I grew up with the Atari one, and the Atari one has the ice in it. I know the Atari one definitely has ice in it. Because
actually, the Famicom version, I do believe, has the icicles.
Oh, really?
Steven, we were playing a version where it didn't have the icicles. Aren't you? You may want to talk about. There's a couple that you know, and they hold the world record on that version, don't they?
Yeah. What is it? Matt Miller and his girlfriend's Michelle, and I think they've gotten over 3 million or something on the NES version.
And that doesn't have
I've really been trying to talk those two into playing the arcade, and I think I got them set up with MAME and everything, but I'm not sure that they've really taken it from the next step or not. I'm not sure.
So I just showed my cabinet. I've had this cabinet about maybe 2 years.
Okay.
It's not a wide body. It's just a regular cabaret, maybe. I don't know what the right word would be for it, but I really would like to have a wide body. As a matter of fact, the cabinet me and Steven played at Free Play Florida was immaculate. It was really nice.
Well, they had the wide bodies, and then the one Steven and I think we have the same cabinet, and I think what that used to be was a Donkey Kong Jr., and it's a conversion cabinet.
Yep.
I picked mine up actually about, I'm guessing maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Once my cousin and I got good enough on MAME, we wanted to set the record. I had to just go out and buy a cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the way it goes, which is cool. I mean, did you have to fix it?
I mean, I've got it sitting right here in my bedroom, and if I want to play it, I just play it.
That's awesome. Did you ever have any issues with it? I mean, did you have to do any building or anything on it?
Fixing it? Maintenance on those?
You know, the funny thing is, when I went to go buy it, and I went to the guy's house, he had it turned on, and then he was talking about some Miss Pac-Mans he had out in the barn. So I walked outside, we looked at the other games, walked back in the house, the game was not working. And I said, well, did you turn it off? He goes, no, but yeah, I mean, come to find out the monitor had gone bad. Maybe he knew it, maybe he didn't, I wasn't sure. So I think I swapped the monitor out. So I don't really enjoy working on the games very much, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've watched Mike do it before. It looks awful.
I had 3 Galaga boards, 2 Bosconian boards, and 1 barely working Bosconian. I'm so happy.
What game was it that the maintenance guy said, don't touch this, it might kill you?
Oh, that was Asteroids Deluxe. That was referring to the Vector monitor.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that one never, only Ghost played.
Yeah. No, that was cool. It was.
Yeah, I got done with that quick.
You sold the body, though, right?
Yeah, I made $100.
Hey, that's cool. Did you get a discount when the monitor didn't work? I hope.
I did, $50.
Oh, dude.
It was better than nothing, you know.
Yeah, dude, no, that's sweet. I'm surprised you didn't just say, will you at least take it off my hands?
You know, I mean, the thing is, the cabinet's actually in great shape. I've got stickers on the side. The joysticks work great. I mean, the game works really well. It turns on every single time. So I can't really complain. Oh, and I only paid, I think, $300 for it.
Oh, yeah, my cabinet works great, too, except I'm having to replace micro switches recently more than I usually have for the underneath the joystick.
Oh, okay.
My Luigi is down right now. Actually, I need to get a new micro switch. But otherwise, actually, you know what? The sound's not working on mine either right now. I'm not sure if it's the speakers or if it's the something attached to the monitor or not. But looks like maybe you call it El Dorado.
Oh. Do you guys own any other cabinets?
I do.
Oh.
I picked up a Tron, which it had some issues as well, but I got a great deal on it, so I fixed it. I got the Tron working, learned how to play it, started getting over $1 million. I've got a Miss Pac-Man. I've got a Bubble Bobble. I got for $75, with the hopes of maybe getting a world record on it with 2 players one day. I've got a Donkey Kong. I've got a Kangaroo, which I probably want to get rid of. I've got like a main cabinet. It's like a showcase cabinet that I'm going to turn into a main cabinet. And I've got a golf game. I probably have too much.
No, you just need to start setting events up at your house.
That's all.
I have no room over here, you know.
I didn't know you had that many, Steven. I had a Miss Pac-Man. I just sold a Miss Pac-Man, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my friend Robert, who runs arcade game sales in Fort Lauderdale, he has like 2 Miss Pac-Mans that he just got in, and he's going to convert one of them and just keep one of them for the shop for this event that we do every month. And so I figured whenever I want to play Miss Pac-Man, I'll just go down to the shop and play it. I wanted to get a little more space in my place, so I was able to sell it. I had it for a decent while though.
Yeah, I almost forgot. I have a Jungle King and a Robotron as well.
I almost forgot I have a Robotron too.
How do you forget Robotron?
You got to have a Robotron, you know. I mean, it's one of the baddest games ever.
When it's got to get to a point when you forget you have something, you might not be.
It's the size of your body.
Yeah, like maybe I have too many. It's either too many or it's time to open up an arcade. Which obviously, hopefully, you choose the latter.
No, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting rid of about 3 or 4, maybe just keeping the ones I really want to play. But then my wife said if I sell them, that the money's hers, so now I got to keep them.
Ooh, dude, yeah, don't sell them. That's insane. Why would you do that?
All right, Nick, you ready to beat the record on Maine?
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah.
Hey, why don't you guys play doubles?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Once I get my video working. Oh, wrong
Do we
button.
need the whole thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's on a delay. Our monitor's a delay, but this is the real thing. So
this is the real deal here?
Remember how to put a quarter in?
This?
There you go. There we go.
Load up on quarters.
Where are you? Oh, maybe you gotta hit start. You let me die off.
Okay.
Glenn, did you have any other questions?
Or does anyone?
Anybody? Any questions for us?
Glenn? Glenn?
I'm trying to free up my hands. I got like 700,000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, dude.
I'm sorry. You can leave push to talk on. We don't hear any background.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Well, I know you're done.
How's Metroid going?
Metroid's, I kind of took a break from it.
Okay. I noticed you were turning Ben onto it a little bit. I noticed Ben was streaming it.
Yeah, I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to get back into Metroid, but as of right now, I'm focusing on pinball because we have a pinball tournament coming up.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
We have 16 people competing, and right now the competition's getting kind of crazy just in practice.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Some people are putting up like humongous scores. That some of these pinball, you have to like survive at least over an hour. So get in like the top 3.
Or the ridiculous shot like the Bride of Pinbot. And it seems like people can hit it like there's no tomorrow. Nice, Nick, and I can't jump. I'm trying. Ah, dude.
So to both Stevens, we've talked about Mario Brothers all day. What are you doing? But what are your guys' favorite games? I mean, if they're Mario Brothers, awesome. But what are they overall?
Well, it used to be Donkey Kong, but I think I've kind of converted over to Mario Brothers. Pretty much.
Just let me go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible.
What about you?
For me, I love Turbo Miss Pac-Man. It's a fun game. I like it more than Factory Speed Miss Pac-Man. I like how you can sort of make up for a mistake with speed on Turbo Miss Pac-Man.
30 seconds, guys.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I guess you guys won't see our score tonight, but
thank God.
Yep, because it's almost over. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. We'll be here next week, 9 p.m.
Yes.
Maybe the scoreboard will be operational, and we'll have maybe some scores to talk about. Will things be verified by then? We won't know. Please send us your comments about it, as well as we'll talk about it on the show next week.
5 seconds.
Glen Updike.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us on.
Steve. Thanks for Jace for coming on, too. Thank you guys for watching.